instead of understanding that God is generational.
Come on now.
I was in a meeting earlier today. We've got some younger people here. One of them sleep. That's okay. 5th and 6th grade. They were talking about how those who are 5th or 6th grade, say you're not asleep, I repent. You are. Those who are 5th and 6th grade. Xavier and Ruben are about 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. The workforce for them will be in 2030, which is only 13 years from now. I was in a meeting earlier today about that. And man is about the same age. The workforce is going to be around 2030. The environment that is going to shape them doesn't even exist yet. And so how they're being shaped, how they're being wired, how they handle technology, how they handle the things that are being thrown at them is an entirely new world. And when that young man that I talked about earlier said that he saw all the stuff that was going on, I had to show him and some of his friends a video of 9/11 because he wasn't born. The only hurricane they've ever seen was the ones we've seen recently because they weren't born when Hurricane Katrina came. And they were too young to remember Hurricane Sandy when it came. So they look at history through YouTube.
Yes.
That's how they experience events. And so in light of all of that, I think sometimes we get more focused on a moment that when you blink won't even be here.
My God.
Instead of remembering that God is the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob,
same
and that
God.
what he has done, he will continue to do.
Yes.
And that we have to be intentional about that. I think about Hitler, and then I'll shift gears and we'll each give a closing thought off this and close out in prayer. I remember there was a story I had heard. I don't remember if I heard it when I was in Belgium or when I had left or something of some sort. Because I went to a concentration camp that was ran by the Third Reich, I think it is. It was ran by Hitler's people. Yeah, Third Reich. And when I was there, visited the prison, and inside the prison, one of the guys the night before he was going to be executed, as you carved in the wall what appeared to be the face of Jesus. And the tour guide, because when you walk inside of this prison in Belgium, it's very dark, very dreary, I'll never forget it. You could feel the trepidation, you could feel all kinds. I never forget that feeling. I'm going to run out of there. You just feel it. And when I was walking in and walking out, they were telling stories about how the biggest challenge they were having is looking to see how their kids were going to be okay once the parents were taken. And one of the major things that was said, Bruce, is, when they said, you're never going to take our families, or you're never going to stop with us, or whatever. And someone has said that Hitler said something to sort of, my concern is not you. I'm not worried about you. I have your children.
Wow.
I have your children. And so he understood that if he could implant what he was doing into them, it would perpetuate itself. It will perpetuate itself. And so I think that understanding and thinking generationally has to be brought back up, because that is how the church has sustained and survived. And being able to understand and recognize, as I'm a fifth generation preacher and Councilman Good and all of that, but I look at all of that has happened before me, and then I look at where we are, and I understand that there's a greater responsibility to steward that generation after generation. Why do you think we've lost that? And what do you think is key